Hi, I'm Jacob Beals, and this is my show. Been a really long time since I've done like an official one of these. I don't even know if I remember how to do one. I'm just kidding, it's easy, anybody can do it. But in life, real life gets in the way, I got a job, I got other stuff going on in life, and I forget to make videos, even though it's something I enjoy. I mean, I make other types of videos, but I haven't made an official, like, Jacob Beals show video in a long time. And sometimes I wonder, is that something I've grown out of? But then I stop and think, and I'm like, no, I don't think I have. I think it's going to be something that's always a part of me. I mean, I've done this since I was in high school, on again, off again a lot, more off again than on again in recent years. But the Jacob Beals show is something I always think I'm going to do. In fact, the last time I made an official Jacob Beals show episode, I was still in my 20s. I'm 30 now. And I remember for the longest time, I used to build up turning 30 like it was going to be like this big, scary deal. Like after that, my whole world was over. But honestly, I still feel the same. I mean, turning 30 really isn't as big of a deal as your mind hypes it up to be. So don't listen to those thoughts. I'm just scared to turn 40 now. And I've been doing this video stuff for so long that obviously I've changed a lot over the years. In some ways for the better, maybe some ways for the worse, I don't know. But I've also stayed the same in a lot of ways too. One thing that makes me feel older, hearing younger people talk, for example. Teens now, they say things like, it's giving, or that's bussin', or it's bougie. And there's even this thing now when they say 6'7" out of nowhere. I had to ask one of them what 6'7" meant, and they didn't even know. That was the crazy thing. Back in the day when I was young, I actually had a youth pastor who told me that at some point we were going to reach a point where our vocabulary was so shortened, we weren't going to speak actual words anymore, and we were just going to make like grunts and noises. And I thought like he was joking, or I was just like not wanting to believe that, but look at where we are. I think that's where we're heading. Another way to see that I've changed and like the world around me has changed is by looking at some of my old YouTube videos from my first YouTube channel. I mean, I still got a baby face, but other stuff has happened. For example, I made a video on Charlie Sheen back in the day when he left 2.5 Men because I was heartbroken. That was like one of my favorite shows. And I haven't watched 2.5 Men in years, but Charlie Sheen, he's still kind of crazy, so maybe that hasn't changed. I also made a video, like one of my very first videos was ranting about Justin Bieber, his fans, and his music, and how much I hated it, and how much it annoyed my teenage self. But now as a 30-year-old, there's like 3 or 4 Justin Bieber songs I really, really like. And I'm not gonna lie, every once in a while, I'll turn on his song Baby, just for nostalgia's sake, and it's kind of a jam. And back in the day, I also made this video called The 10 Things You Need to Know About Life. I was like 17 when I made that video. Ironically, I didn't know anything about life at the time. But I think the real reason why I've been thinking about this and why it's been on my mind is because one of my favorite YouTubers recently made a YouTube video about how he's been on the website 18 years, and that blew my mind a little bit. I've been watching this guy ever since I was like a freshman in high school, and he just went through like how he's changed over the years and how his content's changed, and it almost made me emotional, I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, man, it's been a long time. And he was the guy who kind of inspired me to make YouTube videos. And plus, I've kind of been nostalgic lately a lot for days in my past, whether it's my high school days. I don't miss the homework and stressing about stupid stuff like I did back then, but I do miss a lot of the fun times from then and my college years, hanging out with my buddies and things like that. That was the best. And I miss a lot of the simple things, like just coming home and hanging out with my family on a regular school night or something like that. It's weird how you get older and those things, they kind of change and they're different. And maybe this isn't like the most dramatic thing somebody could say about being a 30-year-old in 2025. There's probably a lot more interesting takes than the one I have now. We're looking at my old YouTube channel, for example, based on how I've changed. And that's not really a good measurement. But I really just wanted to make another episode. I just kind of felt like I needed to. Sometimes I feel like I gotta have like this outlet. And thankfully, I have a job where I can do that every day. I work on the radio, so I can kind of talk and get my creative juices out there. But every once in a while, I kind of got to return to the old faithful, and I think that's kind of fun. So I don't know if any of this made sense, but I hope you enjoyed watching it. But until next time, this has been my show. I'll keep making videos. They might not necessarily be Jacob Beals show videos. I don't know. There might be something else too. I kind of do a lot of things nowadays, but I like that, and I hope you do too. And until next time, I'll be seeing y'all later. Bye, everybody.